A man on the verge of suicide begins to look for ways to end his life online. But he stumbles into a strange website with a point-based system that lets you build skills and talents for characters. Hello and welcome back to our channel iSky. Today we are going to do a recap of the anime series called Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. Episode 1. The episode begins and we see a boy transported into the world of his video game. He notices each and everything present in his game, so he uses an identify option to learn about himself. He learns that his name is Michio Kaga and he is a level 1 villager. After that, he finds a sword and a ring of determination with the help of which his energy level increases. He was present in a village, so when he goes out he faces some bandits attacking the villagers. Although he is not so powerful, he defends the people and delts all the bandits, after which he feels tired. In a moment, an old man named Samara comes to him and thanks him, telling him that he is the chief of this village. Then he takes him to reward him for his bravery, and he tells that all the goods and weapons belonging to the bandits killed by you are now yours upon checking the items. Michio comes to know that the special items are replaced by someone. Next, he goes to his room, and being tired he thinks of quitting the game, but he learns that he cannot do so. Meanwhile, the chief arrives and asks him to wash out his hands. Having no choice, he obeys him and considers that it's a reality from now. Later, the chief catches the thief who had stolen Michio's item, and after returning he marks the man as a slave on his digital identification card. He tells him that in this village thieves are sold like slaves, and the person whose item is stolen gets the profit on the sale of the thief. But Michio doesn't want to punish this hard person. Afterward, the chief gives him the ID cards of the thieves to collect the bounty on them from the night station. The next morning, he sets out for the night station. Upon reaching the night station, a night girl, after checking his ID card, gives him the bounty of 2 bandits and he leaves. In the town, a person tells him about brothels, which scares him a lot. Then he takes him to Ellen, a slave trader where Michio sells his slave for 30,000 and gives half the money to the person who helped him in this matter. After that, Ellen suggests he buy some slaves. Meanwhile, he sees a beautiful slave girl named Roxane. Ellen tells him that slaves are to obey their master, they are so useful. After thinking a lot, Michio decides to buy Roxane, but he is told a much higher price for her. Ellen tells him that he will wait for him for 5 days. Michio is sure that he will buy her but doesn't know how. Episode 2. In the future scene, Michio returns to the village where he started the game. Along with Roxane and other slaves, he visits the exact place where he was lying in the beginning. After that, Roxane asks him if it is an ordinary village. Meanwhile, they see many people in the field. Michio sees a little boy with black hair just like himself. He learns his name is Mio, and then he goes to him and talks a bit. Then he is told that her father has died and he lives with his mother. Michio, after realizing something, gives his sword to the boy and advises him to protect his mother. After that, he tells Roxane that he doesn't know the boy. Then the scene shifts to the present where Michio is arranging money to buy Roxane. He has collected 330,000 and he needs 70,000 more. He recalls Ellen's advice that he can earn more money in 2 ways. One is by killing bandits and the other is to complete the missions inside the labyrinth. He prefers the labyrinth, and the next day he goes to a weapon shop and buys a sword and armor. Then he reaches the labyrinth, which was a completely weird place. However, he gets inside with his Durandal sword. Upon getting to the first floor, he is assigned to kill a monster. He learns that he can use several skills inside the labyrinth, but he can't get outside using destination magic. After a while, he faces a monster named Needlewood and he easily ends him. As a result, he gets a branch name item. Then another monster appears and he uses his overwhelming skill to kill him, but he feels tired and proceeds to quit. But somehow he controls himself and kills the monster. After that, he realizes that all of this is happening due to his low magical power, so he must attain high power as soon as possible. Next, he goes to the Adventure Guild and sells his items for 300. In this way, he learns that it is impossible to buy Roxane this job. However, the next day he teleports himself into the labyrinth. After entering, he discovers a secret place there and enters there. But we see that he faces a large number of monsters inside. Anyhow, he with great difficulty manages to kill all of them and gets many branches against killing them. On the way back, he encounters a huge gathering of people and he is told that the bandits have breaked in the town as they found a dead bandit whose hand was brutally cut, but he decides to kill the bandits as it is the only way to get Roxane. Episode 3. Michio thinks of killing bandits and earning money, but he knows that he is is not powerful enough to face many bandits and he has only 3 days left for buying Roxanne. However, he gets outside and uses his identity magic to find out the bandits. But all the people were villagers and adventurers. Then he remembered the advice of the person and visited a dark place in the town. Upon entering, he finds the place very dirty, so he finds a room and takes a shower to clean the dirt. After that, he proceeds to leave, but on the way he meets the owner of that place, then who gives him his room keys to him. At night, he walks around the place to find the bandits and enters a strange place named Red Light District. After exploring a bit, he finds a blade bandit and then he starts following him so that he would find the residence of the bandits. In this way, he reaches a place full of bandits who were gossiping. Then he secretly hears them and learns that they are talking about a bandit named Yogo, which makes him remember that this bandit was killed by him in the beginning. After all, he returns to his room and the owner expresses that he is doing great and then serves him food. During the dinner, the owner tells him that the leader of the bandits is dead, so all of them are struggling to become one. Moreover, many other groups are attacking them to get the seat of the leader. At night, he decides to talk to a bandit to learn more, so he gets up and takes the thief's band with him. Next, he reaches the bandit and asks him for some information about the thief's band. The thief agrees to buy the band, and when he takes him to his room, he attacks Michio and he instantly burns the band and kills the bandit. Then he takes his hand along. Furthermore, he kills many other sleeping bandits, and in total, he takes only 3 hands to collect their bounty. At night, he peacefully sleeps, and in the morning he goes to the guild and collects the bounty on the bandits. After receiving the money, he gets happy because he has collected the entire money to buy Roxanne. So he immediately takes all the money to Ellen to buy her. Ellen receives the money and asks him to wait while he is bringing Roxanne. When he brings her, he advises her to get along with Michio, and then he asks both of them to put out their ID cards so that he could seal the contract. In this way, he patches the slavery contract on Roxanne's card, making Michio her owner. This prompts Michio to think that Ellen is a legit slave trader. And we see that today Roxanne is looking pretty happy because he is now owned by Michio. Episode 4. Michio takes Roxanne to his home and he notices that Roxanne is still feeling uncomfortable and scared, so he consoles her and orders her to sit with him. Michio is enticed by her ears, so he asks her if he can touch them. She agrees and Michio feels very good touching them, but he thinks that he would not do anything that can scare her. So he begins to tell her about himself. He tells her that his village is far away and he doesn't know anything about this world. He would like to be taught all this by Roxanne. Michio could purchase a bigger room thanks to his additional cash. He notices Roxanne is seemingly nervous and fears the idea of her sharing a bed spooked her. He later realizes he accidentally booked a room with a double bed rather than 2 single beds. He can reassure her that, in addition to wanting to share a bed with her, he just wants her to go into the maze with him as a combatant. They return to their hotel after buying all of Roxanne's adventuring equipment, including clothes. Roxanne showcases her skill in fixing and maintaining equipment, but as night falls, they both become increasingly nervous. Michio can't help but stare at and touch Roxanne's body, but he feels guilty about it thereafter. Despite the shame they feel, they can wash each other's backs, shampoo each other's hair, and clean Roxanne's tail. Finally, they get into bed together and get involved in kissing while making sure Roxanne is having as much fun as they are. Roxanne kisses him the following morning, but Michio believes she only did so because he requested her to before they went to sleep. In any case, Michio decides to start their first journey through the maze. And that's all for today, guys. If you liked the recap and want more summaries like this, consider subscribing to our channel.